Hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are listening from. This is MarshaKerrTalley, and I am your emotional wellness coach. And with that means I myself have challenges with managing and regulating my emotions. And it is through my own experiences that I've learned techniques and skills and strategies and ways of dealing with the thoughts that come to my head, the feelings that occur in my body, the beliefs that surround me, and how I have to gauge and monitor those on an ongoing basis so that I don't sabotage myself from living the life that I'm putting in work to create. While I'm working just now, I was uploading a photo of one of the books that I wrote and published years ago but never spoke about. It is called Surviving COVID-19, a Memoir. But the subtitle of the book, I even forgot. I had forgotten about it completely. And the subtitle of that book is The Power of Manifestation. And I'm uploading this image of the book to this pay link so I can embed that to my website because I do a lot of those, everything to do with my business, I do myself, which is something else I will talk about because I do have to outsource to people who are well equipped to take me from where I am to where I want to go. But right now, this is what I'm doing because it's the most cost-effective thing. Additionally, when I'm creating, I do feel very happy. But I'm uploading this cover. And the cover would not upload. It says it exceeds 2 megabytes, and I need to make it less than that. And it's interesting because I have uploaded other book covers, the same size, the same look, the same format to this particular website without issues. And so I'm about to resize this image. And the subtitle hit me, The Power of Manifestation. And immediately I remembered what was going on during that time when I contracted COVID-19. What was going on during that period of time where there was panic that was resulting in people staying home, that the grocery stores were closed, planes were grounded because people weren't traveling. What was going on? And I remember how with all the news outlets broadcasting certain and specific information, with people adapting this mentality that if you do not do like they do, then you are the cause, you are the problem, you are the source. And I remember going back to work because this was after we were teaching from home and we were now able to go back to work. And I remember, after all the time of being home, what my concerns were going back to work. And I remember the feeling. I remember my ex-husband, Theo, who has now passed away, not COVID related, what he was saying to me and my daughter around me. And I remember the night when I was in my kitchen behind my island and I walked past my daughter. Well, I was boiling tea. I was actually boiling some herbal tea, some actual herbs. I was putting it in there because I remember the energy around what was going on at that time and a lot of precautions I had put in place, health-wise, medical-wise, that I'd had in place. I'm a naturalist. I want to deal with holistic ways of living. And so at that day, I was boiling some tea. And my daughter walked in behind me and said, "Ugh, that stinks." And I remember that feeling. I remember that thought. I remember. But I backed up to remember this, that Manifestation is not just about producing the good things you expect in your life and what you speak out of your mouth and what you say you want. Manifestation also occurs with those thoughts that you are hiding that you think are not going to create anything. They are going to bring about the negative. They're going to bring about the fears. They're going to bring about those things that you do not think will come to pass. The grudges you're holding on to, the resentment, the insecurity, the doubts. Manifestation works in both ways. So when you say, we can manifest this and that, make sure you understand that this and that could be good or bad, positive or negative, for your benefit or not. Remember that. Now, we could always say, all things work together for my good. We could always say that no matter what, it's going to work out for my good. And I understand that when we say these things, it sounds profound and it sounds good and it is soothing to our souls. But the reality of the matter is, we've got to come to terms that we must monitor our thoughts and what we say, but also how we feel, because all of those contribute to what we manifest in our lives. And I believe that despite the time I was isolated, the time that I was at home, the time that I put in all these precautions and I avoided the thing, the fear manifested the thing. So as I looked at the subtitle of this book, I remembered. And I'm going to ask you to be bold enough to face yourself. That when situation comes up that makes you feel hella uncomfortable, that you pay attention to that feeling and the thoughts that come along with it, goes along with it, accompany that feeling. And you start to ask yourself some hard questions, and where you can't answer them, find out how to undress those feelings, because they're telling you something about something that is going to produce something. And as I sat here today, there was something else happening in my life. I was already a little bit insecure and feeling frustrated and feeling a little bit down about the progress that I was making in my business. And recently I came across the fact that many of my videos on Instagram were without my actual voice, that my voice was removed from all these videos. And that panic of, dear God, what I feared, that AI is able to take away and clone people's likeness and remove their voice, all these thoughts are going in my head. But that wasn't the point. See, the point was now, Marsha, how are you allowing those thoughts, that thing, to affect your mood, your vibration, and the results that you produce in a day? That one thing is starting this spiraling effect where it's now affecting how I see myself. Then I posted in my group, and I'm not getting the response. And I'm considering, what am I doing wrong? Now it brings me back to that place where I'm always doubting myself, which has been a key factor to why my business and my progress have been stagnant. Self-doubt. Because as much as I am vibrant and I am not eccentric, but I'm definitely a personality that has a big life. I am extroverted in my personality, and even though I'm a big dreamer and I'm ambitious and I'm driven, self-doubt, because there were times in my life where all I had, who I had, was me. I could only depend on me. I could remember the times they spoke those words into my life, and it caused me to doubt me. All of those seeds that were sown for so long, some of them I thought I uprooted. But really, I just dress them up well. Really, I just put them to the side thinking that they will somehow disappear because I'm doing all the other work. But as this subtitle hit me, I read it and it hit me right in my soul, in my spirit, in my body. All of me got it. My mind got it. All of it. All of me understood in that moment. The power of manifestation is not just about the good things, but there are things working behind the scenes that are creating the reality that we are living in day in, day out. And the only way we're going to change the reality that we're experiencing is by paying attention to those thoughts, not neglecting those feelings, not avoiding them, not ignoring them, not overlooking them, but paying attention to them, acknowledging them, and addressing them. So I know I have some fears that are ready to produce some things. I know I have some self-doubt that are ready to produce some things. I know I have some insecurity, some brokenness that are ready to produce some things. But I also know that I have the opportunity now to rectify that. See, this is the power of grace. I have the ability now to change the trajectory of how my life was going to go based on the manifestation that I was going to produce. I have the grace and the time and the space and the opportunity to change the outcomes by changing my mind, by monitoring my feelings. And when I say monitoring, I'm not talking about when we just take something to stifle it, to subdue it, to dampen it, but actually to feel the feels, live the feeling, address the feeling, because they're there for a reason. They're telling us something, and something very important. The something they're telling us is important. It's important for us to listen. And as I sat here and I'm revisiting all the work that I've done all this time and looking over the seeds that I've sown, and then I realize, Marsha, every time you are in harvest season, you do something to sabotage your own produce. You do something every single time to hinder your growth. What is sabotaging you? What is causing you so much doubt about you? Where is that fear coming from? Why is that pain still lingering? Are you still feeling neglected by the parents who should have been there, the lover who abandoned you, cheated? What is it? The mistakes that you've made, are you still holding on to the guilt and punishing yourself for doing what you did? It's time to forgive yourself. It's time to believe in yourself. It's time to extend grace to you. It's time for you to understand how manifestation is ready to work on your behalf. But you have to do something to help you create the life you say you want. Because a lot of times we say it with our mouths, but our actions are saying something completely different. And that's where the contradiction comes in. Our words say one thing, our beliefs are saying another, and our actions are not aligning at all. This is not to make you feel guilty. This is just so you understand that I am in it. And I have to work through it too. There is no perfection in any of us. Nobody that you see, hear, love on, don't love on, is perfect. None of us. There's no perfection in any of us. So even as an emotional wellness coach, a life coach, all the accolades and titles you can put on me, at the end of the day, I am Marsha, who's an embodiment of the work that I do, the healing work that I do, the transformative work that I do. And you, too, have to do the work. And I'm not saying that with that tone so you feel bad about yourself, but so you feel convicted to bring about the change you say you want, and also the change you're working to produce. Because that's the worst part. When you're putting in all the work, all the effort, but you are low-key sabotaging you. You are low-key the reason why you're not growing. But here's the positive thing. Because it is you, and you know you can control you, and you know you can change you. If there's anything on this planet, in this world, that you can change, that you can affect, it's you. If there is anything that you can influence anyone on this entire planet out of billions of people, it's you. So if the change is dependent on you, that is fantastic to hear. And let me be very clear so I can set the expectations for you. You're not going to leave listening to this message and immediately become perfect, because one, and I want you to hear me loud and clear. Perfection is in none of us. It's unattainable. It's not an adjective for human beings. Perfection can be for things, but it's not for us. It's not for beings, not for human beings. We are not about that life. It's not for us. So take that out of your vocabulary when it comes to describing who you are, or anyone else for that matter. So to set the expectation, when you leave here, right now you might feel convicted. You may even feel inspired. That is what I hope for you. But you're not going to immediately just get rid of those thoughts and those feelings that have been making you feel or think or do what is causing you to not live the life you want to live. You're not going to immediately, and some of you might. Why? Because of where you are in life, because everyone of us are on a different journey. Some of you will hear this message and it will not hit home today. You may need another few messages and another few experiences before it really hits. Some of you are right at that point where you are ready. You are ready to make that change that you need to make to live this human experience like your purpose to live. To let go of the baggage and the burden that's been holding you down and weighing you down and causing you to feel so heavy. You're ready. So while I'm setting the expectation that you're not going to leave here and become perfect, because it's an ongoing journey, it's a daily habit, it's changing those habitual thought patterns that affects your feelings and what you do. It's an ongoing thing, and you have to put in practice. Like literally renewing your mind and saying, hey, hey, hey. I had to say that to myself. Marsha, hey, 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 hey. Marsha, you may be one of those people who have to draw a picture of something or someone and call that person the no. So when a thought comes to your mind, you look at that and say, no, nope. And some of you have to get real passionate about it, where you're not just being mediocre or lethargic about it, but you're saying, it's time. I'm done with this. No, I'm not going to allow these thoughts to bombard my mind. I'm just not. I'm not going to let you keep hindering me, from doing what we need to do. No. So even though I'm setting that expectation, I know some of you are ready. Some of you are ready. You're ready. So with that, ladies and gentlemen, I'm not going to be here long. This was literally, I'm still in the process of resizing this image. I haven't even resized it yet. But once that message hit me, the power of manifestation, I said, oh, let me record this and share this, because this one is not just for me. But I wanted this message recorded anyway. It's not just for me. The power of manifestation will produce whatever you're thinking and feeling. And you know what expedites it even more? How you feel. So watch your feelings. I know people have always underestimated the power of our feelings. Don't do that anymore. Now you know better. Your feelings will expedite that manifestation. If you feel glad, it's coming. And maintain that gladness, that joy. If you feel that fear and it's overwhelming, it's coming. So you have that grace and that time and now to change, to make a difference, to create what you actually want. Pay attention. Be self-aware. Pay attention to what's draining your energy. Pay attention to what inspires you. And adjust accordingly. I'm MarshaKerrTalley. This is Candid Conversations with Marsha. Definitely check out my website, MarshaKerrTalley.com. Stay connected with me. I'm transitioning in all different types of ways. But we're going to get through this together because our human experience is worth living. I'm wishing you the best and stay well, stay happy, live inspired. Bye. Woo!